Today we're going to do a little prospecting and hopefully finding some gold nuggets. I want to search for nuggets up along this roadway here and maybe up in some of these washes. I was looking around here just a little bit last night before it got dark with the new Garrett Axiom, which is their pulse induction machine. Try to find a handful of nuggets. Now, I tried here a little bit, but as you can see, people have camped here quite a bit. There's a camp ring there, fire ring. There's just like a lot of trash, but I did get a chance to at least turn the machine on and use it some. But today is going to be my first actual hunt with it. All right, let me show you what I'm using and how I have it set up. But again, this is the very first day I've ever been on any detection with it, so bear with me. I just have read the manual. Okay, turn it on. Okay, set at fine, which is so it will pick up smaller gold. Ground track, I went ahead and turned that off. And that's something that when you swing the loop, it'll follow the ground mineralization and change the settings in the machine automatically, so you don't have to do it yourself. The only problem when you have ground track on is that if you get like a little target and you keep going over it to try to figure out where it is and what it sounds like, is it'll start to balance that target out. So I always turn ground track off all my metal detectors and just manually ground balance it whenever it starts to get unstable. Sensitivity, let's just go and crank it up. I'm not going to wear my headphones because I want you guys to be able to hear it. Plus, the rattlesnakes are pretty bad out here. That was the first time I almost died on this trip. I got to turn the threshold down a little bit though. That's I want to just barely be able to hear it. Whoop, too much. All right, we'll try with that. I'm gonna try to ground balance it here. Again, this is brand new to me, dude, so bear with me. All right, up there we go. I'm just kind of hoping maybe a giant nugget got washed down into this caliche. And all the topsoil, of course, has been removed from the rain. Everything in here is going to be pretty shallow, I would think, because that can't get down through that caliche. So I'm just going along like that. Well, this isn't the best of signs for a good detecting area, but I got my first target. I actually could look down and just see it on the surface, so I picked it up. I could tell it was iron. And this is an exploded bomb fragment. That could be off of a artillery round or anti-aircraft round or whatever, but that's 100% a bomb fragment. Don't forget, this entire area, this entire part of California was used for huge training camps and training areas. So you could likely find World War II stuff almost anywhere. But the fact that there's a bomb fragment here, I'm not worried that we're going to get blown up, but I'm worried that there might be a lot of junk here. So we're going to find out. So I got a giant target here. It's buried, so I thought I'd show it to you, but I mean, it's pretty huge. I'm not worried about it being a little nugget, to be honest with you. That might be, was that it? Nope. I think that's it right there, maybe. What's that? Yeah, so that is, I thought it was a nail, but that's a welding rod. A burnt up welding rod. That's the end of it right there, or electrode. A giant signal here. All right, still buried. Let's get the magnet out. Suspects I need a piece of iron. Pulse machines, you can, the discriminations aren't normally the best on them. But that's a big old chunk of, I think that's melted slag probably from when they were welding in here. Yeah, pulse machines aren't noted for their like great discrimination abilities. They can discriminate, but not as good as say a regular VLF metal detector that you'd use for normal like relic hunting. But you can see all the black sand. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's just, watch this. Just from, so pulse machine will kind of cut through some of that, whereas a regular relic machine would have trouble. See, look at that. Loaded with black sand. This is a magnet, by the way, so. Isn't that cool? Got a nice big signal here. Has that nice sweet sound, so that's gonna be non-ferrous. Meaning, it's big though, so if it's a nugget, it's a good one. All right, moved a little bit. I'm gonna move it again. All right, let's see what we got. Hopefully my pinpointer will work out here. I'm gonna move that a long way from the pinpointer. Nothing. Oh, there it is. Unfortunately, looks like brass. That's a piece of brass off the jacket of a bullet. I don't know if that's 50 caliber. Might actually be a little smaller. Yeah, probably. Could be though. So yeah, another bullet fragment. Wow. You can see, don't really want metal detect in the middle of that because that sand could be like 10 feet deep down to bedrock, but I don't know. Well, I just picked up another 50 caliber bullet fragment. I guess it's like most of it, but yeah. Might be why people aren't detecting out here. Now, there are old gold claims in this area. You can see there's some wooden stakes and stuff, and I looked on the maps, and it does show that there are claims that they're inactive. Maybe we know why. I always like to run over these ant mounds, just in case they went very deep into the bowels of the earth and brought a little nugget to the surface. But apparently they didn't. Well, so I went ahead and came down to the bottom. I thought we'd just walk up here a little bit. If nothing else, it'll be an interesting little hike. Got a nice, sweet little sound in here. Somewhere. Right there. That could be something good. I don't think it's going to be like a giant piece of artillery fragment or anything. No, get closer though. Wait, get out of there, you. Get louder. All right, so it's out of the hole. It's right in here somewhere. I don't think it's me. Could be. It's starting to sound pretty big, isn't it? You see it? Or a bullet fragment. Okay, I'm gonna set you down. Hopefully you can see that. What I'll do. Now, normally you'd have a like a little scoop that you could use, but I lost mine, so I'm just gonna use an old soda bottle and try to scoop it up in here. All right, so it's in here. In there. In there. Oh, I can see it right here. So yeah, see, that's a piece of foil coming down from a camp up the gully probably, or from the workers on this line. There you go. Whoops, pick that up. Oh, yeah, I don't want any trash out here. I always like to fill my holes in, even though I'm out here in the middle of the desert. And I got to tell you, I'll be honest with you, most people don't, because I see holes everywhere where they just leave them wide open. Sometimes the trash is laying in them too. All right. Ooh, something huge. Probably a can. That's why I don't like having these stupid washes. All right. Let's get the pinpointer out. We'll just see what that is, and then I am going to get out of this stuff. Wow. Must be quite deep. This isn't picking it up. So I dug a hole out that far, and I still cannot hear it with the pinpointer, so that tells me it's quite a bit deeper. And because of the aluminum foil we found right beside it, I'm just going to assume that's going to be like a can or something. I'm not going to bother with it. I mean, that's not going to be a giant gold nugget. Famous last words. Someone will come out here, make a video, and dig up a giant gold nugget there. That'll learn me. Great giant signal here. If I look down, I can see it, and I think it's going to be another bomb fragment. See it? Yeah, that's another bomb fragment from World War II. So watch out for explodies. They're gonna be out here somewhere. Apparently this place is paved with bomb fragments. Nice little piece of shrapnel there, isn't it? That'd cut you sharp, wouldn't it? Hook going into you. In World War II, the anti-aircraft munitions, you find a lot of these when you're in Great Britain. Because, of course, you got to realize, and a lot of people don't, you know, I've gone over to England a lot, digging and stuff, and, you know, have a little show with Rick Edwards over there. We go around in the rivers and look for stuff. And we find a lot of World War II stuff, like things like this. And cartridges, you know, 303 cartridges and stuff. And I'm like, I remember one episode, I'm like, I said something to the effect, and here's proof that the World War II happened right here. And they made it like a little screen little thing on the bottom. It said, they did not fight any battles in Great Britain during World War II, which is freaking wrong. They fought air battles. Don't you remember the Battle of Britain? Don't you remember those things? Don't you read your history books? They were fighting in the skies all the time over there. You find all kinds of artillery you know, anti-aircraft fragments. You find all kinds of fired bullets. You find the cartridges that are streaming out of the Spitfires as they're going over and blowing up the Messerschmitts and the bombers and stuff. There was a battle in Great Britain in the air. It just made me feel like a stupid idiot because there was no fighting in Great Britain during World War II. Oh well. TV producers, can't live with them. Can't live without them. Well, I guess you can't. I mostly do. Rant off. Sorry for that little World War II Great Britain rant, but it's actually a point to the story that I totally forgot to tell you. When you're digging over there, you find a lot of the anti-aircraft shrapnel, and it was manufactured in such a manner that when it exploded, the pieces came out and made like little hooks on them. So that those little hooks, when they would fly through the thin skin of an aircraft, it would cut hydraulic lines and steering cables and stuff like that. They're very distinctive the way they explode, and it's kind of neat when you find them. They're all over the place over there. Got a good little signal here, kind of smallish. Oh, not too small, I guess. And that's going to be either a gold nugget, a piece of lead, or brass. Yeah, it's getting pretty big now, so I'm gonna set you. Let me set the I'm gonna turn the camera off and dig it up, get it out of the ground, and then we'll find it together. All right, so we got it out of the hole, but it's huge. So I'm thinking it is not going to be a gold nugget. It's going to be something World War II-ish probably. Yep, there she is. That is a 50 caliber machine gun bullet. Now, you see it's rusty, so it's got an iron core. Most military rounds do. So yeah, that's a 50 caliber round fired. So this is that little discolored area I wanted to hit. And if you look, that's probably an old dig hole right here. I mean, that could be 10, 20 years old. I do have a signal over here, but again, it is a bomb fragment. You can see it right there. It's gonna be another bomb fragment. You see there's a lot of quartz over here that's washing out of this stuff. You can see that nice red soil. So we'll mess around here a little bit. See what we can come up with. Just looking for a giant vein of gold going through there, but I'm not seeing it. One day that we might, right? There's another bomb fragment here. Just kind of kicked it down probably an inch or two. So I've been at it about another hour or so and just digging mostly World War II stuff. Saw a couple old clay markers here. I thought we'd just come over and look at them just for the heck of it. There's an old post there, an old post there. There's no active claims out here now. Real quick for you guys that may not know this. When I say claim markers, there's a program the government has, the federal government, that dates back to like the 1800s, where on federal property, if you find minerals or think it might be minerals in a certain area, you can file a claim on it. And the claim means that you have rights to work and search for minerals And that area exclusively, no one can come in there and claim jump and look where you're looking. Now, you don't get rights to the land, you just get rights to the minerals. And they did that to kind of get people to go out there and look for gold and other minerals for the country so that it could grow, grow faster and grow better. But those claims are only for X number of years, and then they expire if you don't renew them, and they cost money. So if people don't find stuff, after a while they don't pay anymore, and they become inactive claims. That's what we have in this area. All right, just want to go ahead and show this to you since we haven't found a whole one before, but this is a fired bullet. It was fired from a ways, so you can see where it hit something hard. Surprise, surprise. But it was not a close impact. It expended most of its energy before it hit the ground. All right, guys, here's the deal. I'm going to go ahead and head back to the truck and grab some lunch and go on a different adventure this afternoon. I like this area, but there's just too much World War II stuff here. So I'm going to move on to another spot that I wanted to detect. We'll do that tomorrow. And then definitely we're going to be getting on some gold claims with some friends a little bit later in the week. I do really like the Axiom, by the way. It worked really well. It was quite stable. I found plenty of stuff. A lot of it was big, because that's what's here. But some small fragments too. All right, so we'll see you on the next one.